All right. Good morning, folks. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live. Johnny here from Casino Gaming Central. I got my rabbit ears on this morning because I got some guests waiting for me in Zoom, and this will make sure we don't have any feedback. So hopefully we'll have good audio today and have a great show. So before we get started, you know the deal. We got to talk about why do us maniacs do this every day. And I think I got a couple of guys in the green room here that really want to talk about this. And one in particular has done this for a living and can tell you that the casinos only exist to take every dime you have, and they will do everything they can to make sure they can do it. They'll change the rules, they'll change the odds, they'll change everything to make sure you can't win. Unless you have a ladder, I guess, right? Is that part of the make these guys smile in the green room, right? Unless you have a ladder, can't win, right? And that's the theme of the show this week. So we've been doing a couple of weeks of, actually 3 weeks now, of shows on laddering, whether it's positive ladders or negative ladders. And this week on the specific DeLambert style ladder, ways to beat the casino. And I think, we talk about this concept of the bridge, and I bring this up every day because you don't have a whole lot of tools. The casino's got the one tool they need, which is $1 billion, unlimited money. They will outlast, even if the games were fair, they'd outlast you because you don't have the money to withstand variance. But ladder players do use bankroll as some kind of a weapon against them. And we're going to talk about today how that can possibly work. What I want you to really understand is ladders do incur risk. And if you're not ready for that risk, and if you don't understand it, which we'll talk about today, you probably shouldn't be playing that way. But we're going to get into why. Okay, identifying opportunity, having discipline, setting goals, keeping your emotion out of it. I think ladders, of all the ways of playing, do the best job of keeping your emotions out of it because there's no emotional betting. There's no trying to follow a trend. There's no dopamine rush. There's no nothing. You're just playing a system by the book, doing your thing. And the ladder kind of removes you from the system if you're playing it correctly. So I want to jump into that today too. So here we go. Let's look at what today's schedule is going to be. We have Ken and Waylon in the green room on Zoom to talk to us and really answer that question, right? Is laddering the only way to win? Is that fact or is that fiction? Is it truth or is it bullshit? We're going to find out from two guys who will not hold back and will tell you the absolute truth today. So if you've got questions for them, put a Q in the comments and I will make sure and pass those along if they're relevant as we go. And that's the thing. So with that said, let's jump into some fact or fiction this morning. And I've got, again, Ken and Waylon waiting for me here in the green room. We're going to talk to them both, experts. I think Waylon's probably the best known ladder player in the world. Waylon, and I said this yesterday, and we'll talk to him about it in a minute. Most ladder players play other games. They play roulette, they play Bach, they play, blackjack. It's great for the 50-50 bets. It's just a way to kind of go at it. Waylon turned that on to craps, and everybody went, oh, that's interesting and different. I think Ken's been playing that way for a long time as well, but not so much to the popularity that Waylon has brought it to. So I just find it interesting that we've brought this idea of laddering into the game of craps, where it's not a 50-50 game like every other game is. It's just you look at things a whole different way. And yeah, so with that said, good morning, fellas. Thanks for joining me today. I have Ken on the left there and Waylon on the right.
What's up?
Good to have you guys, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so glad to have you. I kind of kicked a hornet's nest with this whole thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of educate a little bit. I'm more of a teacher, right? I want to educate folks on ladder play. And I want to present both sides of it. And there are people who just, for whatever reason, don't understand ladders. Or they'll see a ladder video, like I said yesterday, and it's, oh, that's cool. And off I go with my entire rent money to go play it. And they don't really get it. So I'd love for you to both, and we'll start with Waylon. about laddering in general. And the first question I want to ask you both is this: what do people not understand about ladders?
Well, most people they don't really know how to play one. They think you have to ladder up all the way down, and the main thing they don't do is pay attention to their rack or their bankroll. Uh, they'll be at level 4 or 5 and be in profit, thinking they have to come all the way back down the ladder, and they're actually up $100,
Truth.
and they could start over, or be satisfied and quit. But they won't. They'll try to come down the ladder, and then they'll go on the losing streak, and they just go up the ladder higher when they could have been satisfied with a profit and started over. It's a lot to it. Bankroll management is the key. Bankroll is the key, and knowing where you're at all times. Like Ken says sometimes, if it takes a minute to check your rack and see where you're at, who gives a shit? Let them roll. You don't have to bet every roll.
You know what? That's a great point. That's such a great point. People, they get all tweaked out when they miss something. Like you don't have to play every freaking roll of spin or hand. You can take a second and just take a breath, right?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
It's okay not to play. I love that. How about you, Ken? What do you think the most misunderstood thing is?
And another thing, and I always preach this, is never take money to the casino if you can't afford to lose it. If you can't afford to play a ladder system, don't play it. If you're not, just for instance, if you're not laddering, if you don't want to play a ladder and you got $500, you got $500 to lose. If you got $500 to lose, whether you're laddering or not, you got $500 to lose. If you want to play a ladder system with $500, or you want to play a same bet with $500, you still got it to lose. So if you can't afford to lose it, don't take it. It don't matter which way you play.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got $500 to lose and you want to play a ladder system, you probably need to go play bubble craps or a $5 table. If you want a same bet, go to the table and play it with $15. But still, you got the casino has got the advantage either way you play. So if you don't have it to lose, don't take it. If you can't afford to lose $50, don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I always preach.
I think that point's valid in terms of, if you have $500, you're hate to say it so negatively, you're probably going to lose it anyway, right? If you lose it $5 at a time, flat betting on a regular table, or you ladder up and lose $500 in 20 minutes because you got to level 8 really quick, it's the same shit. It doesn't matter, right? It's still the tool that you brought, and you're gonna hammer in staples $5 at a time, or you're gonna take a shot at it with a stake, right? It just depends on the money. The money's there to do its job. Ken, what do you say?
Well, I hear all the time, it's like, well, yeah, man, you're risking $5,000. Oh my God, you may win a bunch, but then all of a sudden, bam. Well, while that's a true statement, and let's just say you're coming out across at 640, and then you're going to make the move, like you say. I hate that so much, make the move. but anyway, you get a couple of sevens out and you go negative, you're going to lose your fucking $5,000 faster than I am. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're so afraid. So it goes to what the Waylons said. If you ain't got the money to lose, stay the hell out of there to start with. But if you do, it's going to survive most any other strategy. But when you say, oh, you're if you get up the ladder, you're risking a bunch of money. Well, when you go across and play all that other bullshit, you're going to lose your freaking bankroll too, but probably faster than me.
Yeah, well, it's a speed thing, right? So what if you said this? What if I said to you, hey, look, I'm going to go 640 across, or I'm going to go 660 inside, right? and I'll take my 220 win, one shot, and walk the hell out of there. I'm going to risk 660 to win 220, right? And I'm out with $200 versus laddering from $10 and getting to 660 maybe on a bad run, and maybe winning the same 220, but it takes me an hour and a half and 50 rolls to get there, and I still may lose to 660. Like one guy's going to say, I'm just going to unzip it. We're going to see what happens here. And one guy's going to be like, well, I'm just going to grind it out, and if it works, it works. They're both risking the same for the same end. It's about the experience, but there's a difference there, right? And I think you guys would probably argue back and say a ladder's safer than going one shot and out, right? Is that the overall point?
You just said it, and here's a huge, in my opinion, now that's why you got me on this damn thing.
Hmm?
In my opinion,
does Ken have an opinion?
I want the experience. I want to make the move. I want to fucking press. I want action. Action, I say. Okay, if that's what you're there for, then don't bitch about any way anybody plays.
Yeah.
You may hate a ladder system. That's fine. But it's because you can't do a bump on a pickle. You won't do a bump on a pickle. Why? Because you got to have action. You got to have multiple bets out there. And that, in my opinion, and I guarantee you Waylons' opinion, is a problem.
Sure. So what do you think about, a guy like me, who what is laid out there, going out there big for one hit and running out. The thing that scares me the most in a casino is time. I don't want to have them to have more shots at me. So I would rather go a little bit bigger, get one hit, two hits, and run the hell out and not give them multiple. I don't want to get punched in the face 10 times. I'll take a shot every 5 days, but not 5 shots every day. You know what I'm saying? And so for folks like me, spin me around, get me into this idea of, instead of winning at once or over 2 hits or over a very short period of time, letting the system just kind of play itself out and do its thing. Because I think that's the magic of a ladder when I watch you guys play.
You say it every morning in your bridge. All right. Most people are, let me take 100 to win 1,000. John Patrick has said it 100 years ago. The person that's going to be most consistent, winning, most consistent, not 100%, he's going to take 1,000 to win 100. And it's that mental right there. So most gamblers are take a little bit and try to win, or let me put that 660 win one time and all that. But if you go down, you talk about ifs, let that 640 whatever go down that first time, just that first bet down, boy, are you fucked. So but it's all the bridge, right? It's all the mental. Well, okay, I'll take this much. This is the way I want to risk it. This is how I accept the risk. So everything that you say in the morning does hold true. Waylon and I, we're just reverse of that. We're going to risk the same amount of money maybe as you do, but we're going to be more methodical about it. Right? It's like, what's more probable to happen? We have no fallacy that we can't get whacked. I just did it 3 days ago. Right? But my envelopes that I did since I got $3,000 now, what? I built that son of a bitch up, and guess what? I got popped. Well, there it was, and I still got 2 times my bankroll. Now, it's just more, Waylon, when you say that, it's more methodical. It's more, it's going to chop more than, everybody wants that home run, right?
Yeah.
Home runs happen. They do happen. But I'll guarantee you that choppy back and forth bullshit's going to happen more. And that's what me and Waylon count on. And one more thing. He said it just a minute ago. That bankroll is so huge to watch. You have to dial in Skill and Luck guy. He called me because he said to you a couple of times, oh, I lost 8 in a row. But he had called me when that happened. And he was bouncing that 8-7, 8-7, 8-7. He said he was up a few bucks, but he thought he had to go all the way back down. So if he lost because he didn't play it right, which is what Waylon said to start the thing. All right. Now, one last thing, and I'll shut up. Waylon's bankroll reset is more genius than people freaking realize. We're doing a new thing called the carousel. And, you know, checking that bankroll, taking the roller off. I want to see. I want to see where I'm at constantly. Nobody wants to do that because of what I just said. Action, action, Jackson. And they don't care. They're not in it like me and Waylon are. And that's okay. If you want to just piss it and go for the moves and all that, God love you. But if you want to be more consistent, and not everybody does, then you got to play sort of the way me and Waylon play. Is it the only way to win? No, I won't be that cocky. But for our mindset, it is. I don't know. What do you think, Waylon?
Well, here's how I look at it. Like John said, every roll of the dice is a risk. And here's how I look at it. If you want to risk all your money for a couple rolls, get a couple rolls and win, that's great. That's a you thing. Myself, I'm not gonna risk my whole bankroll on a couple rolls and not thinking the seven's gonna come and lose it all in 2 rolls. I would rather take my 640 across and play a ladder system with it, maybe one bet or two. $640, I win 60, 75 bucks. I'm freaking done. I'm satisfied. You got to be satisfied. I don't want to risk 640 for 2 rolls and hope on a wing and a prayer. I'd rather risk my 640 on something I know has a good probability of me winning a few dollars and getting the hell out of the casino. And it don't take long, but it's a you thing. Like you said, people, they want to win $1 million with 600. It ain't gonna freaking happen. Unless, you go on some God glory monster roll and, you just happen to be there at the right time and right place when that happens. But in my 38 years of gambling, them monster rolls only come once in a blue moon.
Well, it's one thing.
Once in a blue moon.
That's one of the things that David from Casino Quest has a lot. Like, he's like, don't ever chase the win. He's like, so many people have got these great stories of they won 10, 15, 20, 30K one day. And they're just after it all the time. And it drives them forever. Like, the worst thing that can happen is like your first time gambling, you win a bunch of money. Because then, they got you.
Yeah, well, my dad's like that. He wants to break the casino every time he goes, and it don't happen. He'll win $5,000-$10,000, and he still wants to keep playing. And I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me! Oh, I got him now. I'm hot for these dice.
And that's it.
Next thing
Old Joe's gonna go after the throat.
I'm telling you,
that's awesome.
He's one of them old school guys that believes in every roll 100%, that he is not going to roll no 7. He's a whole light side, 100% light side player, and sometimes he wins big, but overall, at the end of the day, he is a big time loser in that game because of it.
So this brings me to something that Ken just said. And as you were saying it, Ken, it struck me. The words gambling and play. You said, Waylon and I play this way. If you're going to be gambling, blah, blah, blah. I think most people are like Joe, Waylon's dad, right? They're gamblers. They're playing. They're trying to take the casino. They're trying to, gambling is, let me risk some money to win a bunch of your money, right? It's a street fight in some ways, right? But I don't think you guys play that way. And I think that people think, maybe I got this wrong. They think that you're using ladders to kind of hit the home run and never lose and blah, blah, blah. But you guys are going to work. And not really, I mean, you're gambling, of course. The gambling is the tool. But you're not there like, trying to gamble. Right? You're going, I feel like you guys are going to work. Is that a better way to characterize the way that y'all play?
For me, It is. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, Waylon's probably saying, but he'll say it in a second. When I gambled for a living back a long, long time ago, I learned fuck the free drinks, fuck the big titties that they come around, cocktails, glitter, glam, and all that, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's focused. And so when I go to a casino, it ain't to have fun. Now, people don't even understand that concept because people are like,
Right.
I get his dad, Joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He does it for fun, but he goes like most people. I'm gonna break the bank. I'm gonna. I do it. I've always done it as a business. But what I have to understand is I am a rarity. Waylon is a rarity, right? How we think, how we approach the game, we're rare. And then that makes everybody think that we're stupid because we don't do like everybody else. Like the Bible said, that narrow road, right? That narrow is the path. Well, me and Waylon are that narrow guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the longevity, I've been doing it he's done it 30 whatever. I've been doing it
Right.
45.
Well, if you were
And
just
I'm a winner over a lifetime.
So if you were just some random YouTuber that had, John knows gambling, right? Or whatever, right? And you're just going to, talk shit about here's how you win and ladders and blah, 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 blah. People, I think, and there's people in our chat, they aren't here today, but there's people in the chat that think you guys are all full of shit, right? This way of playing is full of shit. I will tell you this. Ken and I we had a talk. How long? We've been friends for 4 or 5 years now. Can you believe that?
Yeah, as long as I've been on YouTube, probably 5.
Yep. And you, I know for a fact, have played for a living. You gambled to make rent and eat, right? So whether I enjoy that style of play or not, I'm fucking listening. Right? I'm listening because here's a guy that actually did it. And you have said repeatedly, I'd never do it again. I don't recommend y'all do it. It was hard. It almost killed you because it's stressful. But if you're going to go through it, this was the way to do it. Some kind of a negative progression, whether it's a ladder, Marty, whatever you want to, whatever system it is, that was the way to survive, not the Joe or the John way. I'm just like, win a little, or risk a little, win a lot kind of a thing. I'm more on the positive progression side, the negative progression side. But if you had to make it, you made it, right? And I know that story. That's not a story. I know that your life is true.
I got a book about it too.
Yeah, you do. But you made it that way, right? And I think that's why I say, okay, let's listen to Ken. Let's listen to Waylon. These guys are doing this forever, and you're not out there trying to break the freaking bank every day. You're trying to go out there, build a bankroll, and either if Waylon's trying to build a bankroll to play more often, great. Like me, build a bankroll to play. You were trying to build a bankroll to live on. It's the same thing. It isn't like you're going to Vegas for a weekend and trying to, hit the ATS 17 times like most people do. I think you two and me are talking to a different type of player. But I hope that the other players are hearing this message.
Well, look at your Casino Gaming Central. Train like a pro, play like a threat.
Yeah, man.
You get up there and sling money all over there, and you don't know what the hell you're trying to win $1 million. That ain't no threat. You ain't playing like a pro.
True.
Well, I have to.
I'm sorry.
Ken played for a living, and kudos to Ken. He pulled it off. He played for a living, and there's not anybody I know of that's ever did that. Well, me, I couldn't do it.
Well, the thing of it is,
I could not do it. I don't even like going to the casino. I'd rather be playing golf or hunting or fishing or spending time with Alicia. I'd rather be doing a lot more things than going to the casino. But when I go, I enjoy myself, and if I take money with me, I can afford to lose it, and I'll play the way I play, and I'm very easily satisfied with it. Unlike some people, like my dad. But one thing my dad does do, he takes it, he can afford to lose it. He don't give a crap about it. Don't bother him one way or the other if he loses or not, because he's got it to lose. But he goes for the moon with it. I'm, on the other hand, I'll go to win a few $100, $400 or $500.
Yeah. Build it up.
Sometimes I win a lot more, sometimes a lot less, but over time, I probably won 50 times more than I've lost because of that, because of the way that I gamble.
So you're talking about winning 50 times more than you lose. You're talking about more often, right? You're gonna win more often. And I think people watch your especially Waylon, they watch your channel more than mine and Ken's combined times 10, right? And you do make it look very easy, right? You make it like this is it. Look at him, he's winning. This looks easy to do. Ken lived the life and will tell you it ain't easy to do. It's very stressful to do that. And it's not like you just show up and win every day, right? But what makes that way of playing, like, is it satisfying to you to win 19 times out of 20 versus one big one? I mean, is that a mental thing? You just find that more fun or more enjoyable or more like, gotcha? What is it for you?
It's not about fun. You see, for me, and I can only speak to me, and I can only know what all your chats are saying about now, but I can only speak for me. And the mindset that I had to be in when I did this for a living, and I've told you this before, will never, ever leave me. If I can't allow myself to play any other way, because that's just it. And I know that, and I said it before, it's not the only way to play. And as a matter of fact, the way that I played sucked. It was stressful. I won, but I figured out what I don't want to do, and that's gamble for a living. All right. But, I do a RUP too, regression up and pull. I don't have to ladder every single strategy, but for the most part, I will. But I will say this to anybody out there. If you're a right side guy, it's like dice influence versus not. 50-50, whatever. Let's dig our heels and fight. I'm not going to fight. This is the way I play. Here's why I play. That's how Waylon plays. That's why he plays. Here's our little science behind it. And if you're totally off board and think you need to do whatever, then God love you. You do it. Live and let live. Right? It's your bridge. I love that bridge. It's all about your head, your risk, your tolerance, your bankroll. John Patrick calls theory, logic, and trends. It's your theory. It's your logic. Fuck trends. It's your theory and logic that counts. And if it makes you happy going in there, trying to, going with 100 to win 1,000, you don't go home and beat your wife because you lost 8 times in a row.
Right.
Well, okay, great.
Yeah.
Right. So I tell people as far as YouTube, and I said it, I think the last video or so, I said, don't do it on Waylon's channel, my channel, your channel. Don't see something one time and go, that's it. Going to the casino. I said, don't ever do that. Ever. Practice, practice, practice. Find the holes, find the goods and the bads and all that. But do people listen? Fuck no.
Happens dude, it happens all the time. I get emails, and I know, I've heard it. Saw a thing on YouTube, went to the casino, lost my ass. A, what'd I do wrong? B, help me get out of this. I get that all the time. And it's like, and that's why I wanted you guys on here, because it's not just watch a Waylon video or watch the golden ticket or whatever and go and the retirement plan. And that looked cool. Let me go play that. You have to practice it. You know what I mean? What's funny about it is like the retirement plan. I say this all the time. It did great. It was 97-0.
I'm 141-1.
Yeah, but you lost on episode 98. If you'd lost 10 grand on episode 1, the retirement plan never gets a name. It's like, well, that sucked, right? And you probably don't even do it again. But because the timing was great, right?
True.
Well, you know what I'm saying,
That's not true, because if you practice it, yes, if you take it to the casino, you've never practiced it, you don't know its strengths, its weaknesses, and you just watch and go, oh, Ken said that's good, I'm gonna go play it, and you lose 10 grand in the first shot. I get it. But is playing it as much as I do, I know now that if I got on the table right now and lost 5 grand, I still play it, because more likely than not, I'll make that back up.
Yeah, what I'm
But
saying, Ken, is that what I'm saying is the first
might
time, your
not.
first. I'm saying your first show when you guys first developed it, and let's go film it. And you went out there and like episode 2, if it was like 1-0, 2-0, and you lost 10 grand, it's probably not the groundswell that it became, right? That's the thing. It's
Probably
because, and I think people would go, "Oh, that was a nice try, Ken, but I'm not playing that in the casino." But you went 97-0, and then you finally got, and they go, "Oh, that's actually got some strength." And watching you move through it 97 times and finding all the little holes and tweaks was where the magic was, right? The golden ticket had a 1 in 5 million chance to lose, or something like that.
Let's not forget Waylon.
Yeah.
How many times Waylon played it? Let's not
Yeah.
forget how many times Alicia played that shit on bubble
Yeah.
craps and win $100. Let's throw their numbers in the fucking mix too.
Sure.
Let's look at all the YouTubers that's done it live at casinos that won. So I think the retirement plan.
That's one of the strongest.
Well,
that's one of the strongest things ever.
Speaking of Alicia, and here's a good point with that. She's played it probably 150 times, cashing out $20 tickets on bubble craps with a $300 bankroll, mind you. $300 bankroll, $20 tickets. She cashed out 150 of them. Do the math on that. What's 150 times 20?
I don't know. Lot.
Who cares if she
$4
lost?
grand, $4 grand, something like that. Yeah.
Who cares if she loses? And she did lose the last time she played it. She lost.
Mm-hmm.
$300. I ain't worried about that $300. You're still up $2,700.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to being satisfied and taking that money and cashing the ticket out. Be satisfied.
People won't do it, Waylon. They won't do it. They can't.
I know they won't.
Like I said, if you have a goal,
like Ken,
if you got that goal.
Talking about Ken, if he would have lost the first time he played it, if he'd have lost $5 grand, he'd have lost it, and people would have said, "Oh, that ain't no good." But if he'd have kept playing it, he still would wound up where he's at now.
Yeah.
150 and 100 and whatever and one, and still had the same amount of winnings.
Right. Well, I think key to that is that and again, we're talking about a YouTube show, right? When Ken was trying it, but because you could just go grab $5,000 more and just let's try it again tomorrow, right? In real life, if you only had $5 grand,
got it to lose,
you can't do it, right? Yeah. No, I think it's to me this is a fascinating stuff because winning $20 at a time. We say this all the time, and I how many times I've given that challenge? Go to the casino, win $20, come home. Nobody will ever do it because nobody's there to build a bankroll. Nobody's serious about taking a little bit out. I say, death by 1,000 paper cuts to the casino. Nobody's willing to do that and take a little bit every single day and leave.
Well, I wouldn't either because we have we got a round trip, probably 3 hours. We go stay a couple days, but during that time, she'll probably cash out 20 or 25 tickets.
That's what I'm saying. Even during your session there. Yeah, when you're there, you can still do the same challenge. When you're there, go play.
Yeah.
Buy in for 100, cash out 10, go get a drink, come back, do it again. Treat each session as a chance to try leaving with money.
Alicia just said she'll do it quick. You'll cash out $15, $20 tickets all day long, I can promise.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and here's another thing too. A lot of people don't do. A lot of people will not do this, and they don't look at it the way I look at it, or the way Ken looks at it. If you're on a craps table, say you're on a craps table, and you playing, you ain't got no quit in you, you want to just win $1,000. Well, you're playing, you're up 100, you're back to even. You're up 100. You're back to even. You're up 300. You're back to even. You play all day and you break even. If you'd have cashed those out, you'd have been up over $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you got up $100 or $200, you put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Instead of winning 300 and losing it back to even, getting up 100 back to even, up and down, up and down. Every time you're up, you ain't putting your money up. You ain't cashing the ticket out. Then at the end of the day, you're even, and you're already in the hole $100 when you could have been up over $1,000.
That's what
You
Dr.
know,
S calls out of
people
sight,
don't
out of
look
mind.
at
Yeah.
people don't
Let's
look at
not
it like that.
let's not forget those fucking envelopes either, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just like
I
them
mean,
envelopes. Put it
because
in
when
the
I
envelope.
lost that 10, I had probably 60
I think you had
that
over
saved
60.
me. When
Yeah,
I
for
lost
sure.
3 days ago, 4 days ago, I started all that shit from my series. Hey, you got $3,000. Now what? You remember? 50
Yep.
shows. All right. Live every day, whatever. And I built a bankroll. I did what I did. Well, when I went down, it's just a continuation. Yep, I lost $5,000 quick on
Mhm.
that thing, right? Pulled it out. I still have my
Yeah.
$5,000 bankroll and 2 to 1. Now, can I lose two more real fast and then I'm dry? Absolutely, it can happen. Probably not. But people that talk to me, Waylon, about being serious about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not what you fucking say. What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to do what it takes? Bankroll reset, do
Mm-hmm.
those envelopes, treat it like that, or do you want to? It's just a pipe dream, but I'm still going to go play the way I
Yeah.
play all the time.
Yeah. So some of the tricks. So you guys are talking about things that I think are great to bring up, and I've got some questions, by the way, too, from people. But some of the most important things I hear from you, right? The envelopes, being satisfied, having a plan and a goal, like all those things are the hardest things for the regular person to do. Most people will tell you, and I'm sure you guys hear it from your followers too. I'm just going for the weekend. I'm going to Vegas for a weekend. Why am I going to bring envelopes? Why am I going to try and bank? Why am I going to set a goal? I'm just there to, like, the average bear isn't doing this and treating it like we say, like a job, like a pro, like going to work. And I think the bump on a pickle ways to play, and especially coming from the ladder perspective, right? Playing from behind. I hate to say it like that, but you're playing from behind. You're working the loss to make a win. That's not for the average gambler. That's for the guy who's trying to build a bankroll, trying to stuff envelopes, trying to, go on a cruise and pay for what they paid to get on the cruise by winning. Not to go on a cruise and then compound the loss of the $3,000 for the cruise by burning $3,000 on a table. Like, people that have a goal in mind is who you're talking to. Right.
Yeah,
So
obviously, I can't talk to the people that have the mindset I'm going to go in with 100 to win 1,000. And I tell people, don't even watch my show because you won't like it. But you said your average bear, shit. I bet it's 90% of people out there play like that because they won't use their noodle. Not that they can't, they don't want to. And what is it? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So.
A lot of people that don't like ladder systems don't understand how to play them, and they don't really understand like someone that's laddering versus someone that's pressing. Someone that's pressing is still laddering. They're just laddering with their winnings. So, and the big difference between laddering and the pressing guy is the ladder guy always racks his money. He's always putting it in the rack, putting it in the rack, putting it in the rack. When he loses, he loses. He ladders up. When he wins, he puts it in the rack. When the guy pressing wins, say he loses and he presses, and he loses that money. He's not putting nothing in the rack, but when and then he wins his flat bet. Then he presses with his winnings. He's still laddering. If he loses that, it's like losing two losses versus one, where the ladder guy is always racking his money, putting it in the rack. Always collecting. Always ABC. Always be collecting. The press guy, you're pressing, so you lose a few times and you win, and you press it and you win, and you press it and you win. Then you press it, then you lose. Well, that only averages up at the end of the day to about 2 wins plus the other losses. So the press guy has to go on a streak, a winning streak, a long winning streak. And he still has got to know where his money's at in his rack. Because when he loses, he's going to lose all that shit on the table out there. And most of the time, from my experiences with people, they lose all that money on the table and they look in their rack and they got way more money on the freaking table than they got in their rack. And they're never collecting enough. And so when they lose all that. Plus, they're down in their rack. They don't know when to quit. The ladder makes you put it in the rack. Every time you're putting it in the rack. So you only need a few wins versus a lot of losses in some cases to be in profit, and you got to be satisfied. So that's my take on it. And like I said, people that press, they don't realize it, but they're laddering too. They're just laddering where their winnings.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then they don't quit.
The same thing. Pick how, Go ahead, Ken.
Well, I just say they don't. When do you quit? They don't even have an idea when they're going to quit. It's like, I got a quarter, I want it. Now I pressed a 50, I want it. Now I pressed to 100, just like you said, I want it. Well, when are you going to take? Sooner or later, you're going to lose. And like you said, they got nothing in the rack, and it was all on the felt. Why? It's for that chance to go big. It's the whole fucking thing that makes me sick, about that style. I play it again. But,
sure.
And like Waylon said, you're laddering progressively. You're just laddering with your wins. But when you lost, you didn't rack nothing. Nothing. Matter of fact, you lost all your profits and you could have had it in the rack. Nope, you won't let yourself do it. So it's a mind thing. It goes back to that. And most people don't want discipline. Even in life in general.
It's funny because you're true about that. It's funny because people will tell you, you can't make money without money, right? You got to, if you're not going to make 10 grand without putting $1,000 bets out there or getting to $1,000 bets and having them click. And I would agree with that to a point. But Waylon would tell you, if you just cashed out $100 100 times, you're in the same spot as the guy that hit the miracle.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're going for the miracle all the time and you're not collecting along the way, this is what I don't like about regression strategies. Like, I like to regress to lock profit, but if you're going out there here regressing to be even so you can then go for it, those guys tie all the time. And they're putting the win right back out there, and they're ending up in that, like Waylon's saying, you're up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little. You're never getting anywhere until the home run happens, and it usually happens when you leave. So that style of play is tough. I think it's mentally harder.
Most of them are if you base them on, like, don't pass ladder, don't come ladder, that one, or
sure,
the golden ticket that we're playing now, it's really based on one bet somewhere, right? And it works a whole lot better.
And I think the one bet thing cracks me up because I was thinking when I was watching your show on the golden ticket the other day, and you're like 1 1 1 1 1. I'm thinking all these math guys, they used to piss us off. Like, you remember like PJ and those guys, pass line max odds, right, fuckers. But they're like, all you need is one bet to win, and that was their whole shtick, right? They wanted the one bet to be the pass line with max odds because of the math, and they were just so locked in on that. But really, golden ticket's kind of the same thing. Just pick a number, live or die with it, ladder it up, and it just works out. I've actually got a question here. A couple of questions. We're going to be running short on time soon. This is from 4D Craps, actually. And he asks, why is there a reason? I'll put up on screen. Hopefully it'll show good. That's not visible. Hold on. Over here. Is there a reason why most of your strategies are played off the DC instead of the don't pass? Ken's shaking his head. I'm sure Waylon has an answer too. But let's hear it, Ken. Why DC versus the DP?
It's a rhythm thing. What you're trying to protect yourself on the DP, and believe me, I'll do a don't pass spread all day long.
Mm-hmm.
With a small ladder if I need it, but nonetheless, that 7, 11, you're trying to protect yourself from that, right? So if you go to, you can still lose out of the DC. It can be a 7. And then numbered whatever. Next time you come, it's a 7. Same thing, but it's not going to be one after another. The rhythm is different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of times that the shooter, oh, he's hitting a point, but not necessarily that DC point either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different rhythm. Same, almost exactly the same, but just slight different rhythm. At least that's the way I look at it. What about you?
Yeah, the
think,
DC, why I like the DC is the same reasons Ken mentioned. Because especially on a real table, because every shooter, most of the time, people were trying to shoot dice and throw come out 7 and 11s from the playing from the right side. They changed the dice on every shooter all the way around, and you see it all the time. 4 or 5 come out 7 and 11s. All the time. You see it. If you play craps, you see it all the time. Every time you freaking go, somebody's going to roll 4 or 5, come out 7 and 11s, probably multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to happen on the DC. It can't happen. Not back to back to back to back. It can't. You catch a point, you're in the DC, 7 out, that's the end of it. It's got to be a new shooter. The next shooter can roll all the come out 7-11s he wants. You can't lose on the DC. But one time in a row with a 7. Now you can lose 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, but the 7,
pretty rare. Pretty rare, yeah.
The 7, that's the main thing I like about the DC is because people try to throw come out 7s in the casino. After that, they're not trying to point 7 out. So that gives the DC the advantage, in my opinion. That's my take on that.
It's why I like playing the pass. It's funny. I like to play the dark side as much as anybody else does, but I prefer the pass line when I'm doing a positive thing. When I'm doing like a parlay type of thing, I'll play the pass line because of exactly what you're saying. You know what I mean? I'll take those 3-4 cheap wins in a row and pocket that, and then work the don't from the DC side, because you can get beat once, but don't slap me with that fish 5-6 times. Fuck, man. When I ladder the don't pass is when I get destroyed, because you're gonna fight that
question.
Yeah, totally. Yep. And he has another one too. He says, if every strategy eventually goes down, why do you guys get so upset when somebody points out why it goes down?
Who gets upset? I say every single show, every fucking show. I say, stay the fuck out of the casino, because Waylon's strategy will lose, mine will lose, yours will lose. I say it all the time. I don't get upset when they go down. I know it's going to go down sooner or later, and so does Waylon. So I don't understand the question.
I always say any strategy you'll lose, The only times I really get upset when people say it loses for the wrong reasons. If you're telling me it lost because of such and such, and it's not the way it should have lost, or you shouldn't have did it that way, then that's when that's not the strategy's fault. That's your damn fault. So that's the only reason I get upset sometimes.
Yep.
When people talk about, I played your strategy and I was at level 8, I was up $200, and then I went on a losing streak. No, you should have went home.
That's the question. What do people get wrong? Right. So again, I don't put strategy videos out anymore like I used to, but you guys do. What do people get wrong when they're playing your stuff and they're coming at you and they're bitching about, I did your thing and I lost, or that thing sucks, or what are they missing?
Bankroll reset, proper bankroll, discipline, watching, getting off the table as quick as you can. There's a bunch of shit they're missing. All right.
Yeah.
You go in and play a ladder thinking I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that the strategy's fault or your fault? Waylon just said it. That's your fucking fault, because you were up there. You didn't watch your rack. You were up at that level. You could have got off, but you kept going and finally busted you. That's your fucking fault. All right. Most of it is you won't watch your rack and you won't be satisfied. You will not let yourself quit It's like, oh, I'm cooking now, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't let yourself. So you'll play it wrong. Number one, you won't watch your rack and you won't have discipline. It's everything we've talked about today is what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why I go. That's why I go live almost every night. Almost every night I go live, and I do it to prove my strategies win, and I do it to show people how I actually play them. And when to be satisfied and when to quit, when to cash out. And sometimes I go live 4 or 5 hours, which I don't like doing. But so far in my lives, I've probably went 300 times live, and I've only lost twice. And I never say anything can't lose because everything will lose. But and that's why I go live to prove over time that my strategies and the way I play them, and mine and Ken's strategies, the way I play them and the way I preach, I play it just the way I preach. If you practice it, and you got to practice it, you got to practice strategies. You got to get in the rhythm of playing them. You got to get in the rhythm of knowing where you stand. You got to know when to come down the ladder, when to be satisfied, when to start over, and mainly when to walk away.
Well, I think
most people don't even know how to set up their rack, John.
I know. Oh, I know.
Well, let's get real.
I did a whole show yesterday on how to set your rack up to do a ladder. Like, you have to understand how to work the freaking thing, right? And I think most people, like you're saying, and I don't mean to sound negative against people, but I think if you don't, how do I say this right? My favorite thing about the ladders is that nexus point. You get this decision point, like, okay, we're going up. We hit one. Okay, reevaluate. Every single time, reevaluate. Reset the rack, reset your stacks, look at your money. And like Waylon said, if you're looking at it going, I played your strategy, I was up a couple $100 and then it went south and I lost 1,000. Well, you're the dumbass that didn't walk with the $200. This is the point that people don't understand. And I'm going to put a comment up here from 4D. He says there's no mathematical benefit. You're playing more money to a negative EV bet, right? He's talking about the don't pass in particular, but people say this about laddering. There's no mathematical or probabilistic benefit to playing a ladder because you're putting more money after bad. But the ladders have this recovery built into it. And if you follow the system and you understand where it gets tagged and how, like Lance says, how do you play it? When you understand that, you find yourself in profit more often than you think you are. Right? There is no positive EV play anywhere in the casino. Like Ken said, if I'm going to go 160, 160, 160, 160 and win 1,000 at some point, well, okay, you're laying against the 7. We talked about this, and it's negative play. If you're going to just do the don't pass ladder, you're still burning money until it happens. The difference is that the ladders have a recovery in, and the ladders have a built-in point at which you stop and say, where am I? And where am I?
$25. If you got $25 on the don't pass or don't DC and you lose, you're down $25. You throw a fucking 160 out there or 320 or whatever and you lose, you're down that. But you can't win that. You have to win 4 and 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
And a guy like 4D Craps, I don't know him. He could be the greatest guy there is on the planet. But it seems like to me, he'll ask a question and then he'll dig his fucking heels in and tell you why you're wrong. I think he asks questions so he can pop you in the mouth versus really wanting to know. Now, again, he may be a nice guy, but if you're just trying to be an argumentative, then come on, go play your way.
To me, it's like live. I'm gonna have him on soon. Actually, once I get resettled in Vegas, I'll have him on. But to me, that what you're describing there is a little bit like politics. People just get dug into politics. Like, I have my way of thinking, and even no matter what you say, proof, fact, sensible debate, otherwise, they're gonna dig their heels and never change an opinion, right? There's some people that will not change their opinion regardless. So we'll find out when I have him on. You know what I mean? And again, he's coming at it from a different side. He doesn't want a ladder. He wants to play right side. We'll talk through that. What I want
me and Waylon are going to go, hey, go, man. God love you.
Do it.
play that way.
Yeah.
Blessings to you, or whatever. He wants to fucking fight, and
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Well,
Whether
some
it's
people want to
dice
be right.
throwing or
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Some
stupid.
people want to be right versus that's the driver, right? Is being right
Well,
and being
Yeah.
heard, you know?
what people don't understand, what a lot of people don't understand, and maybe he don't understand, is it don't matter if you want to be a same better, that's fine. You got $500 to same bet with, you know. You take your money. If you lose 10 times in a row, you've lost your $500. Same betting. If I wanna, but he had five. You gotta have it to afford to lose. You can't afford to lose it. Don't take it. So if I take 2,500 and I ladder it, I'll lose 10 times in a row. Well, I lost my 2,500. There's no difference in in the what you can afford to lose. The way you want to play however you want to play. If you want to play same bet, you still gonna lose. If I had 500 and you had 500 and we laddered, we lost 10 in a row. We lost our money. That's just plain and simple. But if I choose the way I want to play and I got the money to afford to lose, and I play it my way and I win, that's great. You take your money and you want the same bet and you win, back and forth, win a few $100. You still got to know when to quit. But, don't, you can't look at it like, you know, laddering has no advantage and it sucks, this and that. Well, yours does too. It sucks too. The way you play, it all sucks. It's all going to lose. Decide how you want to lose.
Well, how many times?
Don't take no money to the casino. You can't afford to lose. Just like me when I went live with this 500 roll challenge. I was betting on a $5 freaking table, and I wound up winning 700 and some odd dollars. Betting at $5. Well, he did a 500 roll challenge with his little crapsy app, same betting. And he won about the same amount of money, but he had a $10,000 bankroll betting at $100 bets. I won more than he did betting $5. He's betting 100. So pick how you want to win and how you want to lose. I ain't gonna tell you yours is wrong and mine's right. I'm gonna just go live every night and show you how mine's right.
I think it's right for you. And I think that's what Ken says, right? It's right for you. And that's the most important thing. I did, how many times did I do those computer simulations, right? Every single strategy goes to zero. It doesn't matter what it was. Straight up pass line, no odds, pass line, it all go to zero. Every single one of them.
If you
it's just a matter of
consistent.
It just fucking they go down. It doesn't matter. It's how fast they go, but they will go. The difference, though, when I play the ladder systems, and I can't teach the computer well enough how to do money management, like stack the win, put it over here. It can't manage a bankroll, but it can just play 10,000, 100,000 rolls.
That's all it knows how to do.
It's all, but what you can see though is when you're playing ladders, it does take a lot longer for it to get to zero, and there's a lot more little positive spikes. Big dip, positive, always little pot and a big dip, right? Versus some of the other ways of playing, you have these giant swings, huge win, huge loss, huge win, huge loss. And it's like, do you want that heartbeat like a person, or do you want this kind of a steady thing like this, where it's more of a downward trend? It's all the same. It ends up all being the same. It's a matter of, you're going to lose the house edge over the lifetime of your play, whether you lose it in an afternoon or over a year. It's going to happen. Now, if you can stash,
you said, John, the ladder systems have a built-in regression. They have a built-in don't pass that makes you collect money.
Yeah,
it makes you collect.
I love it.
It's got a built-in don't pass. It's up on a win, down on a loss. It's got a built-in don't pass. A ladder system does. If you want to look at it that way,
Yeah,
it's actually got a built-in don't pass. So that's why they outlast almost every other strategy. Takes them so much longer to lose. But, like I said, you got to have money to do it, the right amount of money for whatever bet you're wanting to make. And that's another mistake people do. They want to go on a $25 table with a $500 bankroll and play a ladder system. Well, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
See it all the time.
Yep.
Who else has got a question? By God,
I'm looking for so. Yeah, I know. Now I made 40 craps mad. I didn't mean to say it was that you were being politician. I'm saying the politics arguments happen the same way, where people get locked in on one side or the other. Let's see. Going through here, I'm looking for other questions. It's hard. The chats are kind of going off in their own direction as they do.
Oh, believe me, I know.
So it's hard to follow like what's being said out here, but let's see. Tom Marco, great guy. Waylon and Ken's comments. Common sense, basic principles are essential for any gambler's playbook. And again, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter for the sake of this show, whether you're playing a ladder or you're playing a cross or you're playing a regression or you're playing whatever. The things that Waylon and Ken both said today matter for everything, right? Bankroll management is important. Using envelopes is important. Stashing your wins is important. Being satisfied when it's time to be satisfied, knowing when you're up and making a good decision, and playing in a way that your strategy gives you that point when you go, okay, where am I? I have a decision to make and I make a good decision. All that shit, to me, common to all ways of playing. Whether you're 4D, whether you're Dice Dr. Dan, whether you're Skill and Luck, whether you're John, whether you're Ken, whether you're Waylon, whether you're Jeremy. All that's the same. The difference is, do you want to use your bankroll as the hammer to kind of work yourself up and through the chop? And when it goes good, you're going to be okay because the recovery's built in, versus let's just hope for the right run. Laddering doesn't need the right run. It just needs anything. As long as you get a win or two here and there, it will work itself through. You don't need a special circumstance for it to win, like the ways that I play. And I'll first one to admit it. When I play right side, when I have my other ways of playing, it needs a certain circumstance for it to win. Otherwise, I get my ass tore up. Where laddering doesn't need that. Laddering just has the rhythm built into it. And that's why I wanted you guys on, to say, what's the difference of ladders versus the regular way of play when it comes to that? Because people, I think, don't understand like the theory of a ladder, not so much the money and everything else. It's the theory of going up when you lose is like, it's just orthogonal to most people to do that. They're like, I don't want to spend more money when I'm losing. They don't
get focused on what you have to take. They get so fucking focused on, oh, you got to take $5,000. Well, that's stupid. I'm going to take 100. They get so focused on that, but they don't realize that, okay, I get popped in one session and I go win 60, but whatever. And they take $1,000 and they get chomped 5 times. They're still out the $5,000. It just took them 5 sessions to do it. Mm-hmm. It's still the same 5,000. Waylon said it a while ago. It's still the 5,000. We just choose to take the 5,000 this way because we got a better shot. We think we got a better shot at surviving. And that's what I try to tell everybody. Listen, it's all we're trying to do is teach you with all this shit. We're trying to teach you the best way to fucking survive this shit. And not win zillions of dollars. How about fucking just surviving it?
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
That's the reason the whole reason I play it the way I play. The way I play, the reason I play the ladder system is because I think it gives me a better chance of winning money. Period. And that's the reason I play it. So, and it's worked for over 38 years. And as long as that's working, I'm not going to try to fix it. So, I've seen same bettors, you lose 5 in a row. Guess what? You got to lose 5 in a row to break even. I don't have to win but about 2 or 3 and I'm ahead. So you lose 5, win 5. I'm going to win more money than you. You're going to be even, or still, you'll be dead even. I'll be up a few $100. Yeah. And if you go in the chop, win, lose, I'm just making a freaking killing where you're breaking even. you'll wind up even, and I'm gonna be up $500.
So
So
Waylon,
that's the way I
Waylon,
look at it, and that's the reason I play it. But I never take, if I can't afford to lose the money, I don't take it.
Mhm.
And whatever I can afford to lose, that's what I'll take. And I'll, if I can't afford to lose but at $500, I'll take that $500 and I'll play bubble craps with it. The way I play, I'm not gonna take it to the table unless it's a $5 table. But if I got 5 grand, which I do a lot of times when I go, I'll play at the freaking table, and I'll win, 2 or 3 sessions, get up five,
yeah.
$600, and I'm done. I'm done.
So Waylon, you said something here, and maybe you guys can both weigh in on this one. When I say things people don't understand about ladders, in a ladder, you can win less often and still make money. You can lose more than you win, like number of times lost, and still be
Bankrolls and
ahead.
reset.
And still be
Yeah.
ahead. Whereas the right side better can't say that. Right? As a part of the system, you can lose 5 times, win twice, and still be ahead. And I'm not talking about 5 a run of like your wins are a single win, not like I can lose 5 sessions and win in a session. I'm talking about in on a craps game, one guy with the dice, you can lose 5 bets, win 2, and still be ahead. How does that work? Because that's the mind blower for most people. They don't get it. They think they have to go all the way up, all the way down, and magic has to happen. Explain that, because that's, I think, a stumbling block for
Well,
a lot
you
of
have
folks.
to you have to pay attention to your rack. You have to pay attention to your rack. You got to practice the ladder system. And I make it look easy because in my head I already know where I'm at. I've been played it all my life. I know. And so when you see me say, "Oh, let me check my rack. I'm in profit $200." We don't want to be at the $500 level. Let's come down to base or go home.
Mhm.
But I know in my mind where I'm at. Most people don't. So they need to check their rack at all times. You can lose 3 or 4 in a row and win 2, and you check your rack, you're even or a few dollars in profit. Take it down. Bankroll reset, you know. And then your next bankroll reset, say you're up $20, your next bankroll reset's $21. You go up the ladder and lose a few, then you win a few, check your rack, you're up $30. Take the shit down, bankroll reset, start over. A lot of people, they can't do that. They need to check their rack and count it. They don't have a way to. If they can't keep up with it in their head, they need a way like you designed it in the rack. Lay your chips out so you'll know
Mhm.
where you're at. You know what I mean? People just they can't do that. They don't want to do it. They want to go up the ladder 10 steps and down at 10. And
Well,
that's great if
also,
that works, but most of the time that's not going to happen.
also people don't realize in the ladder that your next bet is more like you lose 25, you go to 50, you lose, you're down 75. Just because I'm putting 75, I haven't lost that yet. Right. And so a win on the third, I get it all back at one shot. I'm even. Won once, lost twice. And then if I lose 25, 50, 75, and then I go to 100, I'm betting 100. I haven't lost it yet.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? I'm betting 100. And so when I win, I get that immediately because I hadn't lost that 100. I'm only down, say, 100 and a quarter. Look, that's a couple ladder rungs, just pow. And people don't get that initial, next bet you're betting is not a lost bet. It's actually you win that. It's profit, you know.
Mhm.
They don't understand that. And then everything else Waylon said. I mean, they don't get it. But I think
Mhm.
more than anything else, it's going to be like a guy like 4D. Don't want to get it. And that's okay. I'm not here to fight that dude. I don't even know him, right? It's like dice influence guys, non-dice influence. Dig, 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 dig. I will never dig my heels with anybody. I'm very adamant about how I play, but I'm not going to go, you're a fucking stupid idiot and blah, 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 and just keep digging at somebody because they won't agree with me. I won't do that, and I don't think anybody needs to do that. At some point you have to go, look, let's agree to fucking disagree and be okay. Let's go have a beer.
All good. I love that. All right, a couple more questions, then we'll get out of here. I got one from Skill and Luck. He wants to know, would you use a ladder on a hardway bet exclusively?
No.
Why?
Exclusively hard bet? I mean,
just ladder the hard way. Ladder the hard six all day long. No?
I'm not a hardway horn. Now, this is me. Waylon maybe give you a different answer. I'm not, to me, hardways, horns, and all that, they're sucker bets. Just like the field. You got to be really specific in a strategy to use those, in my opinion. So I'm not just going to do a hard way. Would it work? It might. I never fucking tried it. I think Waylon's got a strategy out there about hard ways.
I tried it once live and it got destroyed. I did because
I don't Big like AZ it because it's sucker bets.
Yeah.
To me, everything. Go look at the roulette table. The outside bets are your bets. That's where your ass
100%.
needs to stay.
100%.
All that inside 35 to 1, 17 to 1, and all that. Fuck that. It's circus bets. To me now, you're asking me. All right. Stay outside. Stay on that 50-50. Same thing. I don't want, what's the house edge on it? 18%. What? I don't want that. Could I make it work? Maybe with a Fibonacci of some sort, maybe, but I don't like to bet, so I won't use the brain power to do it. If that answers.
Well, here's why I would never ladder just the hard ways, because there's only 4 of them that are not one more. The 6, the 8, 4, and 10. They're the only 4 out of the 6 hard ways that are not one roll bets. So you got 2 more hard ways, and they're horns. They're a snake eyes and a 12. So you only got 4 hard ways to ladder, 4 shots, 4 chances versus 6. You're never going to win that bet. The only way I ladder hard way bets is with a hedge. Say like a 5 and 9. You do a 5 and 9 ladder with them that way. To you got to have a way to recover your losses. Because just for laddering the hard ways, the 4, 6, 8, and 10 is never going to work.
Yeah, too much.
That's going to lose. You'll lose your ass in the long run, big time.
Yep. Brent Jones, if you only had $800, what would you play to build your bankroll?
Play any strategy you see us do. Just chop it down. I get this question a lot. I got a 5,000 bankroll. I start with 100 or whatever. Well, hey, what do you do? Because you only got 500. Well, divide it by 10. There you go. I mean, you can play any strategy you want with any amount of money as long as bubble craps exists. Right.
What's your go-to now though? What is your go-to now? Is your go-to now the retirement plan? Is your go-to still the don't pass spread?
Don't pass spread generally is my go-to. Now me and Waylon are cooking on this carousel thing. I'm going to roll that out a bunch. I'm sort of excited about it. But the same bump on the pickles that I've always done, and I think I said it the other video. I got an approval sticker, and I'm not approved it yet, right? And I haven't approved the carousel yet, but I might. But the good old standby for how I play, Waylon, the world's greatest strategy. I love that one. The bump on a pickle ones. I don't care. I won't argue with you, but I don't care what anybody says. Those good old KISS bump on a pickles. I tell you, they're consistent winners. Don't care what anybody says.
Perfect for the coffee run. All right, last question, and then we'll get out of here. This is specifically for Ken. Dice Doctor asked the wrong question because it's not pluralized. He says someone asked, "What's the name of Ken's book?" There are 2 books. Ken, talk about your books.
Well, I got one book before he was Bocephus. Is my book about me knowing Hank Williams Jr., working for him, how I grew up with him from basically 5 years old on, And that's that book. And then The Price of Winning is the gambling. It's about my time in Vegas, and it's more. And it even says it on the back of the book. It's not. This book ain't about strategies. It ain't about none of this hoopla. It's about the price of it. The price of me winning for 2 years. What was the cost to me living in the hood with gunshots going on and living on Valium because I'm so sure. What was the fucking cost of it? And it's called The Price of Winning. So it's not a book you pick up. Oh, I'm going to see how his strategies were and how he won for 2 years. That ain't what that book's about. And it's all, both of them are on Amazon.
Yep. Good reads too. I've read them both. They're good reads. And I think The Price of Winning is the one, because that one, we talk about this all the time. Gambling is hard. And when you do it as a job, it's even harder because there's no safety net. There's no paycheck coming on Friday. There's no taxes being taken out. There's no dental plan. It's your system today worked or you don't fucking eat, which has got to be stressful. I mean, I can't. And
it'll make it take a Valium or two, brother. I'm telling you.
But I mean, but everybody. But the funny thing is, all these I'm being quiet, but all these know-it-alls, right? Not just in today's chat, but in general, a lot of know-it-alls come to our channels and our discussions and write us emails and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, quit your job, go to Vegas. Here's $25,000, and if you think I'm wrong or you think you got the way, go live on it.
Yep.
Go live on it and tell me not just if your system works, but how fucking stressful it is to rely on 160 across and let's just do one of these every day. Otherwise, I'm not going to get to eat tonight, or I can't buy toilet paper to wipe my ass. Those things are hard. And this is why you developed envelopes, and this is why you get satisfied with small wins. It's why the laddering for you worked. Because it does give you some recovery, right? I mean, Jesus, it's so hard.
Maybe you do, John. Maybe you do. But on YouTube, there's a lot of gambling YouTube channels and whatnot. Unless you know them, or unless Waylon knows them, I don't know any other gambling YouTuber out there, period, that's ever done it for a living for real, 100%. Not, I got a part-time job or I got this job and I'm doing that. No, like I did, I don't think there's one of them out there. So that's why I sort of get upset sometimes when people come at me like that, because I know they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then I get ill, right? And I need to stop getting ill at people that are just, they're ignorant of the facts. And that's all they are. They don't know because they've never lived it. So I'm one of those, until you walked in my shoes, shut the fuck up.
And nobody wants to. That's your whole point. You should never want to walk in Ken's shoes. Because that was hard.
I wouldn't do it again.
That shit, right? And so that's the greatest point, though, right? You would never do it again, and even all that has still hardened you to the point where, like, this is the way I'm doing it. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to put my hard-earned retirement money at risk, unless I know I can,
I'll still go.
Keep steady. That's the whole thing, right? Yeah.
I had $5,000 on my boat, and I won $2,200 grinding it. And I couldn't even play fucking craps because I couldn't get on a damn table. I did it in blackjack, roulette, and all the other ones, which I tell people, don't have just one game, have multiples. But I grounded it for days. I don't even count that $1,800 slot machine. I didn't even know I hit it. My wife had to go, hey, that thing's running, man. I'm like, oh, shit. But I don't even count that. So I tell people, best bet is no bet. You hear me do it every day. Stay out of the casino. Gambling sucks. I mean it. I'm not kidding. I do it because I know what I'm doing. I know most people don't. And that's what me and Waylon are trying to do is let's get some common sense in here, because gambling is wicked. Let's try to get you to where you can survive this better than anything. That's all we're trying to do, not browbeat people. Okay. I want that to be clear.
Oh, I know. And you guys are solid. I mean, I think, like I said, everybody in isolation is always going to be like you say, great guy, all these people. I mean, I know we're talking about one person mostly in chat today, but like a lot of people, I've had these great one-on-ones, and I think most people that have a channel or really are putting content out there that care about helping folks out are doing it from the right spot, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, and I think you have a different experience that drives you in this direction. My experience is different, right? I was a grinder not because I had to actually survive. I was a grinder because of the way that I learned, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a different experience coming into gambling, but I could make $100 last for 3 days in Atlantic City. I just found ways to do it because I knew I was going to be there for 3 days. And if I burned it all on Friday, I wasn't going to do shit for the next 2 days, but watch the seagulls. Right. So you know what I'm saying?
Me and Wayne have been talking. We talk all the time, every day almost. And it says like, let's just get me a private table, me and Waylon. Let's just go to a casino, do our shit live, man. If somebody could facilitate that, that'd be cool. We can do shit. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be epic. We need to do that one day.
Oh man.
One day. Well, I hope that helped, John.
You guys are awesome. You guys are great. The good thing is this: it stirs up some debate, which is good. Like not everybody's going to agree with the ladders, and that's okay. I think you guys don't care. I don't care. What I wanted was people who play ladders to talk about it. That's what I wanted, right? You guys play it. Let's talk about it. Pros and cons. Mainly, what do people get wrong with it? What do they not understand about it? And let them decide, right? I will have other people, and I'm like James Newberry, great guy, love James, right? Doesn't see an advantage with the ladder, right? James doesn't play ladders, doesn't see the advantage to it. That's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it, right? And some people will say that ladders are the worst thing possible for them. Probably so.
I've talked to James a lot.
James is a great guy.
He appears to be a really good guy and everything like that. But just because he don't like a ladder or whatever, don't mean I've got to be an asshole to him. Or he's still a good guy. He has been to me.
For sure.
So
most people are.
So what?
Most people are. And the thing of it is, and I'll close with this statement because I say this in the bridge part every day of my show. If you're going to play a ladder or right side or full press or whatever you're going to do, it does not matter. But your bankroll, the way that you experience risk or want to experience risk, the way that you get enjoyment or your goals hit, because having fun can be a goal, not just making money, right? But if all that doesn't match up, you're going to have a shitty time, and your strategy is going to break, and you're going to have it's going to be bad for you, right? If you're playing a ladder. Yeah, you play a ladder with no bankroll, it can't work. If you're playing a ladder, but you love risk, if you're an adrenaline junkie and you're playing a ladder, it ain't the way for you to play, right? If you're super conservative and I'm giving you 160 across press 5 times, you're going to shit your pants. I can't play that way. It all has to marry up, right? You got to have the bankroll, the risk, all the things. That's what makes the complete player, right? So you guys have got a way. That's what it's all about. It's all got to come here. So that's why I think people can get dug in and be negative, because what we're saying does not match their mindset, and that's okay. Yeah. Find the way that matches it, and that's your system. Booyah. Go for it. I think that's the secret of all of it.
This is what I always preach, John.
Yeah.
This is what I always preach on my channel, what I always say. If the way I play and the way I teach that I have came up with to win money at the casino consistently over time, to be a winner. If the way I play and the way I preach on my channel can help you win $1, that makes my freaking day. If I can help you win $1, if you like it, that's good. But if I can help you win $1, that makes my day. And pick the way you want to lose. At the end of the day,
pick your poison, baby. Pick your poison.
Well said. That's the place to end it right there. I will put this comment up from Stephen Farmer because I want the world to see the question. How many people do you think actually keep a written record of wins and losses? I certainly do. I have a spreadsheet, not a written record. I'm a nerd. I spreadsheet it. I'm writing an app actually that lets you do that in a database that you can kind of keep yourself accountable. I believe accountability is important. If you don't write it down, most gamblers will tell you I'm about even. Most gamblers are upside down. I write it down. I know exactly where I am this year, which is down. I've had years where I've been up. This year, not so much. And because I've taken some big, punches to the face this year and I've ground my way back. But hey, if you don't write it down and know where you are, know where you stand, it's your lifetime bankroll, your bankroll is the same as your in the casino bankroll. You got to know where the hell you are.
Write down gambling sucks. Write down that. That's what you write down. Look at that every day.
You got it. All right, guys, we're gonna tap out. I'm way late for my meeting was at 8:15. It's 9:00 now. So my people are like, where the hell are you at? I'm getting all these text messages. So you guys are awesome. Love having you on. My next guest will be 4D Craps. I'm not sure when. I'm doing the Vegas switcheroo thing, and I've got some other guys that have asked to be on too. I think we'll start doing more of this because it's good to get the actual questions answered with a live person versus typing a bunch of shit out in chat. It's way more meaningful to me to hear it from y'all, and it's good to see your faces again. I know we see Ken. Well, we see Ken's stomach, not your face, and the top of your head. We see Waylon's arm.
It ain't about me.
We get Waylon's arms and top of Ken's head. But good to see your faces. I miss you guys. Love you both. Like brothers, man.
Appreciate
all right,
you. See you, Waylon.
You got it.
See you guys. Enjoyed it.
Goodbye, everybody.
God bless.